Bean Soup Times is on a mission to create dope content that entertains, educates, and empowers the Black community. We keep our ear to the ground, we ask, we report to you. We help Black people to share their message. We promote real dialogue. We provide a platform to help give voice to the voiceless. We educate you on how to shop smart. Our passion is to inform you about Black events, businesses, organizations, and entertainers. We are Black owned. We are Black Chicago. We are the award-winning Bean Soup Times.
Y'all started off with that lesson, man. Appreciate it.
What's going on? Greetings, family. This is Tori Muhammad. You're on the Black Business Matters Show page on Bean Soup Times or Black Chicago, wherever you at, man. And we got legend. We got the offspring of legend and legend himself, man, here to talk about an incredible event. If you are from Chicago, you already know. Matter of fact, if you in most major cities across the United States and in the Caribbean, you already know about Real Men Cook celebrating 30 years. We got Rael Jackson, man, the next level of visionary behind his parents who created an amazing event to celebrate Black fatherhood. What's going on, brother?
Man, I'm doing real well. This past yesterday, first of all, happy Father's Day to all the men out there. And if you know anything about Real Men Cook, what we're trying to do is promote positive images of Black men in relationship to their families and communities. And we've been doing that consecutively on Father's Day for the last 30 years. This would have been our 31st event, but we had to go virtual. And it was just an amazing experience because we had Ed Gordon, who was a legend in the media industry, from BET to all the other things that he has participated in. We had Chef Jeff Henderson, who was just an internationally known chef. This brother was in prison for 10 years. And when he got out, he just went and sucked out a mentor who was Chef Gatsby, who was also on with us yesterday. And Chef Gatsby was like this high-end chef. He has reset up his stuff here in Chicago, an 81,000 square foot facility, which is going to be a restaurant and catering things for the people of Chicago. But, you know, just some phenomenal brothers sharing their stories, whether it was cooking or just involved in the community. And, you know, the story of mentorship, the story of culinary arts is something that we need to discuss because these things have provided opportunities for our Black brothers. So I was so excited about yesterday, even though we couldn't do a physical event. You know, some of the men were cooking, barbecuing, and we still had a good time together.
Man, you know, I mean, nothing can replace, of course, being in each other's company and celebrating like we have for the past 30 years. But there was something about the way you all set up that virtual piece that it really stamped the importance and value of Real Men Cook and of fatherhood. And you know, most times you're just going around eating, right, and socializing, but you really got a chance listening to those brothers talk to really understand what you just said, the importance of and the connection between mentorship and the culinary arts, and how it can create some incredible opportunities, man. So, man, y'all did an excellent job with it. We appreciate, you know, being a part of it, watching, and helping to promote it as well. And you see I'm representing from, I think this is 2016, right?
Oh,
the Real Man Cook hat.
Yeah, I love that hat right there.
It's a favorite of mine. You see, I still got it, man. It's fresh. I only wear it for special occasions.
I mean, you've been supportive for so long, and you know, people really don't understand just the ties that we've had together for so long. You know, just you and the family. And I really appreciate your support. I appreciate the support of the people of Chicago because for 30 years, we couldn't have done it without you. You know, most of your family, somebody in your family has attended Real Men Cook, or has cooked at Real Men Cook, or has participated in Real Men Cook. And that's what it's all about. We had this campaign this year. It was called 30 for 30. So we were trying to get people to send in donations to $30. Some of the proceeds were going to HBCU scholarships because, we know families are having problems sending their kids to school during this COVID. So we have our Cash App, which is Real Men Charities. We have the website that you can go to. We have a phone number you can call. All this month, we're trying to request those donations to come in. During COVID, I don't know if you know, but my mother under Real Men Charities bought the quarry, which is on 75th and Yates, between 75th and Yates and 75th and Phillips in South Shore. And so with the COVID, they had to shut down this facility that has been like a community facility that people come together and utilize for events, whether they're receptions or, they do jazz there every Friday. So all of that had to shut down with COVID, and they became a food distribution center. So every Friday, 1,000 families receive food through our initiatives during COVID. And so we're still in the same principle of feeding people, but it's just amazing that the opportunities that opened up for us because of that.
Man, I love that, man. And of course, like with a lot of things that grow beyond the vision and the idea when it first started small, people know Real Men Cook, but don't understand that even though what it is in and of itself is so incredible, that Real Men Charities does stuff throughout the year and does a lot of stuff to help, like you said, with education, with feeding people. And the quarry has just been a beacon of light on the east side of Chicago. I grew up on 78th and Exchange, so I know that east side, man, and it's you all are a beacon of light over there on that area. So talk a little bit about the the consistent mentorship and charitable stuff that Real Men Charities does.
Well, all this stuff has changed since COVID. So we have a psychologist, Dr. Obari Cartman. He's a young, in his 30s, psychologist, and he does a men's circle every Sunday. So it's like maybe 20 men that get together every Sunday. They have a drama circle and discuss issues that pertain to the community. When Nipsey Hussle got killed, they had a whole two-part series on Nipsey Hussle, going over his lyrics, some of the things he has done in the community, and just highlighting those good things about our people, because obviously when you turn, like I don't even look at local news because it's so tragic every time I look at it. But then when Real Men Cooks comes around, of course, we're doing a lot of promotions in the news, so I can't help but turn it on. And, it's like just blows me away the things that are going on in our community. And I know that it's real because, it's been times where I pulled up to my grandmother's house at 3:00 in the afternoon, and kids were walking in their uniform, and the car pulled up at the corner, get out, and the guy it's about 3 people that just get out the car and start firing at the kids that's coming from school, and I pulled off, and I'm like, oh, this, if you're around the shootings, we hear about the murders, but the shootings are happening every day around the corner. What type of PTSD does that do to our community? And so it's important that we combat that with positive propaganda, that we show men like you, we show men that are involved with their family, we show men that are working every day, because that's the majority. And we need to have our kids, these youth, see these opportunities. Because I know when I was growing up, we were talking about the extinction of the Black man in the 90s and the late 80s. And a lot of people in my age range didn't think they were going to make it. A lot of people didn't make it. But we need to reach back, being the cousins, the uncles, the mentors. We need to reach back into the community and talk to these young men and say that we love them. Because a lot of us just sort of, like, oh, that's them, what they're doing, and sort of took that step back and that separation. but they need to know that we love them, that they're valuable, because this is intergenerational vendettas, deep family beefs. If I go to a funeral for my cousin and I'm leaving and another cousin gets killed and I'm about that life, I'm gonna retaliate, right? So we need to figure out a way to interfere, to interrupt as a family, because some of these we got a lot of nice outside organizations, but do they really care? Are they gonna really be listened to the same way as a first cousin or uncle? And it's time for us to really reach back and connect and sort of begin to heal the family. We had the outrage, the protests and everything else, about the police, but the police are only a small fraction of the murders that we're dealing with between each other. And it's time that we heal the family. And, I think Real Men Cook is a good place to start, because food brings people together. Food brings friends and family together. We sit at the dinner table. When the man cooks, we sit at the table. If it's breakfast, they sit at the table. It's like an automatic thing when men cook, people coming together and actually sitting together and breaking bread. Whereas with the woman, it's sort of become a utility thing where, my son, he'll pick up his plate and go into his room and watch TV if his mother cooks. But if I cook, he automatically sits down at the table. And I don't know why that is, but it just seems to be what happens. It's just natural. And so once we start feeding people and eating together, I think that nurturing side of men can definitely begin to heal that family situation, because we know it's a lot of dynamics. We know it's a lot of men that were taken away from their families, whether it's in prison or whether it was from murder. So it's time for the cousins, the uncles, and everybody else to step in and fulfill that role to talk to the youth.
Man, I love it, man. That's you absolutely right, 100%. And the reality is that we're seeing a lot and hearing about a lot of stuff that it really ain't. It really ain't no real stuff in terms of, somebody got. It's a lot more emotional, not being able to know how to communicate problems that start off these beats. It ain't, generation after generation of we've been fighting each other. Some of them don't know nothing about yesterday. All they know is, he was trying to talk to my woman. You know what I'm saying? And they gotta really learn how to show their differences in a real manly way without resorting to violence and guns and the whole nine. Man, when you talk about some of the history, right? Because, man, so we talking 30 years, pretty much all my adulthood, right? Real Men Cook has been here. I'm 50 years old now. So, man, each year I would be inspired. I don't remember the first one I went to. I know it was somewhere in the 90s. But being inspired by seeing those men standing out there talking about, this is what I cook for my family. This is what my family enjoys and loves. And all the people who have been participants. I mean, of course, we could start at top with President Barack Obama, to, man, some of those mentors that people don't even know, but they, like you're saying, they are the ones that stood up and just looked out for their family members. Talk about some of the people who've come through Real Men Cook and why they are an example of fatherhood. And really, to me, the Million Man March and Real Men Cook have been the sole events that have reshaped the image of Black men in this country.
Well, when we talk about Obama, because we have pictures of him actually serving at Real Men Cook. He never cooked, he served at Real Men Cook. One of the things, his wife, Michelle, she actually started the partnership between the University of Chicago Medical Center and Real Men Cook like 15 years ago. And that relationship has continued until today. So where the doctors actually come out and serve, because we need to interact with these people as people instead of as Dr. So-and-so. And I think food puts everybody on the same level. One of the things that we also had a couple of years ago is we had the Chicago Police Department come out, and they sent about 12 of their officers to come out and serve because,
Oh, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay. So it was, we had about a dozen officers come out 2 years in a row to serve at Real Men Cook because I wanted people to see that these are our cousins and our brothers and our uncles. We have the officers are our family as well. And sometimes we're just interacting with this guy in a blue uniform and not understand that this guy has a family as well. And so it's great for people to be able to interact with the police where it's not an adversarial platform. So we knew that eventually riots would happen, if the system continued to be the way it was. But we needed an opportunity for the police to connect with the community in a way that wasn't adversarial, because we know that not everybody is bad, because my cousins are police officers. I have several cousins that are police officers. They're not evil. They don't have evil intent. They're not trying to harm anybody. They don't go out in the world to see if they could shoot somebody. It's very very, very peaceful people. So we have to be able to see these people in that way. Gerald and Eddie Levert, before Gerald passed away, him and his father came to Real Men Cook. I thought that was a great feel. Man, it's just so many people
I remember
that have
Anthony
gone.
Brown,
J. Anthony Brown. We had
right?
David
Banner.
Isaac Hayes came out to Real Men Cook. It's just been all. I think it's a who's who of Chicago. Stedman Graham was at the first Real Men Cook. The list goes on and on and on. But one of the things that I love about my parents is that they've never really been impressed by titles and who you are. So it was always the men like you, Torre, and the regular men, the Chaga Waltons, the Jimmy Toes. Jimmy, he had 3 generations of his family at Real Men Cook that were cooking with him. And one of the things that I found is I walked into the barbershop one day with a Real Men Cook t-shirt on, and this guy was in the chair. He was like, "Oh, I got one of those." I was like, "Oh," he was like, "I got an apron and a mitt too." And I was like, "Oh, so how did you get it?" He was like, "Well, my father used to participate in Real Men Cook." I said, "Well, how can we get your father back at Real Men Cook?" He said, "My father passed 7 months ago." And I was blown away because his Father's Day memories of him and his father was his father cooking at Real Men Cook. So this had become his tradition on Father's Day with his father. And now that his father has passed, all of the stuff that his father got from Real Men Cook became his, and was the connection that he had with his father beyond. You know what I mean? So to have a tradition, 30 years, that's multi-generations. And so we're looking for, our problem right now is we're going to be looking for the next generation of men and fathers to come forward, and we have to continue the tradition, just for other people. I think the future of Real Men Cook is going to be smaller events, multiple locations, where your church can, or your mosque can do its Real Men Cook, and the men can be a fundraiser for the mosque. The men's group at the church, it could be a fundraiser for that church, and then it connects virtually. That way we can connect around the world without, and do more events and have a greater reach as Real Men Cook. Because it's difficult doing events, because some people don't value, they're looking for the new thing, the hot thing. And after 30 years, it's hard to be that hot thing, a new thing. People going to dinner in Blanc paying $50 to bring their own food. But, they barely want to pay $25 to come to Real Men Cook, where you could eat 3 hours of food. So we have to reshape how we do things, how we rebrand ourselves. But I thought, like, yesterday was so awesome to me, just having those discussions with men where, where in the background, I think I read today that 103 people got shot on this weekend. So
Yeah.
the think about it, the two ends, Juneteenth, black. We come into our own positive propaganda. Father's Day, we got Real Men Cook, always positive propaganda. So all these positive things are still happening in spite of. And I think that that's the amazing thing, is that we can still have the conversation about what's possible, what's good for the Black community, what's happening. What, these men are going to work every day. These men are taking care of the kids every day. I'm a Q, so my line brother, when we pledged, he got custody of his son maybe 2 months after we got offline, and so he spent his whole senior year as a single father in college. He graduated with his son. His son wasn't even walking yet. You know what I mean? And so these are the stories that I know are true. That I know, I was just reading about another one of my frat brothers who's the mother, his child left, of his daughter, couldn't take it anymore, and she left while his daughter was still in arms, and he raised her. So these are the stories that we have to share to inspire that our men are out there taking care of the families, taking care of the kids, making those good moves. And we just have to highlight this stuff, man. We have to be responsible for our own propaganda. And media outlets like this allow us to get the message out, but we gotta have people to share this information, people to hit that share button. Tell your friends when you see positive things, what's going on, because we're so quick to share what Trump is doing. Oh, he doesn't have this many people at this event, but just steadily promoting that. You're promoting that brand. You're promoting that what's wrong. You know what I mean? We don't understand the role that we participate. We're pawns in his game. You know what I mean? So he gets his name out a little bit more. But if we share those positive things that's going on in our community just as much, if we value the positive things that we see around us just as much, clicking the like, making the comment, instead of when it's something adversarial, we're so quick to argue. Facebook, matter of fact, the algorithm is built on the controversy. So the things that you are gonna be mad about or respond to appear in the top of your feed. That's the way the algorithm works. So we need to reverse. We have to constantly be on that positive, showcase that man you see started his own business. Go ahead and share that information constantly, because we're combating these elements, because we know that if we just let things be the way they are, they're going to continue to get worse. But once we make that effort,
that's right,
we making a difference every second.
Every second.
If you hear my voice, and you're inspired, just that energy just can transform your day. And if you share that energy with your friends, the smile, a quick hello, it might transform the way somebody is feeling, because we're so in our own minds dealing with our own stuff. And it's going to take effort for you to get out your mind and just try to uplift another brother. You know what I mean?
Man, until the lions write history to tell the hunt, will always glorify the hunter. Man, we had a few questions people are posting on Facebook. So one, we talked with Rael Jackson from Real Men Cook. Yesterday was a virtual one. Now you did have a chef at the quarry that was cooking up a few things for people that were there, but it was held virtually this year. And in years before, it's moved around at different locations. I know we actually did one in 2017 or 16 at Mos Mariam in the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
So we told for next year. Make sure that you go to Real Men Charities website, like the Facebook page, and be tuned in for all the updates on what's going to happen 364 days from now, right?
Yeah. And when you cook, just go ahead and take a picture and put hashtag Real Men Cook. We need the movement. And once people see what we're doing, I think people are hooked. Once people kind of Real Men Cook and see Happy Father's Day and the smiles and just the beauty of our people and our families interacting, they're usually hooked. And it's all about getting people out there and sharing. The word of mouth is much stronger than any commercial that we could possibly do.
Right.
We had the new chef at the quarry, the Quandre, who was cooking yesterday. He's 26 years old, and he's been mentored by, Chef Cliff Rome, Chef David Blackman, and Chef Gatsby, who is like, Chef Gatsby is like this amazing legend in the cooking, in the culinary industry.
Right.
And he's mentored so many of the people that had their, some of the Black men that had their own cooking shows. He mentored them to show them the higher quality ways of food, like the foie gras and all the stuff you hear that's like the poo-poo shoo-shoo stuff. He's that chef. And now he's in Chicago opened up a whole new business. I think people have heard of the James Beard Awards. Well, he's a James Beard Award winner, and he mentored this guy, Chef Jeff, who is also in the Culinary Hall of Fame. He's had Chef Jeff has had 3 different culinary shows, and he was hosting Real Men Cook virtually yesterday. So I'm so honored. And of course, everybody knows who Ed Gordon is, from BET News. And this guy gave his time to participate in Real Men Cook. So it was huge for me. Like,
that was beautiful. Love was there. Man, y'all did an excellent job. Man, so, man, we got to tune out, man. I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing so much important information. We love Real Men Charities. We love you. We love the family. And we wish y'all continued success as you all take the vision further for the next 30 years.
Thank you. And just cash out Real Men Charities if you have it to give $30 for the 30 years of service that we given to you. We appreciate you. Thank you, Torre. Thank you, Yvette Moyo, my mother, Kofi Moyo, the founders. I always have to give them credit for what they've done. I mean, to have that vision for 30 years, every Father's Day, Real Men Cook is represented. You're going to see something positive about Black men. Thank you. I know you need to get off. I really appreciate you, brother. Man,
we appreciate you. Cash out Real Men Charities. Make a donation today to this powerful organization that's continued to uplift Black fathers. So we'll talk to you soon, man. You always got some time to come on our show.
All right. Love you, brother.
Man, I love you too, man. We'll talk soon. All right.
Sean Michelle's homemade ice cream is the only place to go when the ladies crave delicious old-fashioned homemade ice cream. Their vanilla tastes just like Grandma used to make it. With over 35 flavors, all made with the freshest ingredients, Kathy has never had banana pudding ice cream this good. It's homemade ice cream the way you remember, and Sean Michelle's doesn't upset your stomach. Enjoy in-store or take it to go. Sean Michelle's. Fall in love again.
First-time customers, buy one, get one free.